Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to introduce Brandon Cornellier with NexGen. Right. He thought I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Welcome, Brandon.
It's great to be here.
I had to loosen you up.
Yeah, no, that's how everybody should introduce me.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
For anyone who doesn't know, you have been an SBLY.
Yes, that was a fun year.
It was. It's a whirlwind, isn't it?
Yes, it was a bit of a road show, but
yes.
I was happy to be a part of it.
You get to meet so many people.
So many people, yeah. And every time I showed up to these things, they're all here to see the panels, and I would always go in reluctant to interact, and they were so pumped to see the panels and whatnot, so it was great.
I know, because I said the same thing. Oh, people don't know me. They don't want to talk to me.
They're like, Brandon. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I forget your name?
Yeah. It was a great year. Yeah. It definitely was a whirlwind, though. Yeah. But I tell people during the whirlwind, it's kind of a lot. But when you come back out, isn't it great?
It's wonderful. And I encouraged all the new SBLYs to take advantage of that time, because it's not often you have that opportunity to meet that many people in such a short period of time.
Right.
So it was a great experience.
Well, good. So tell us a little bit about NexGen.
So NexGen was started by me and my business partner, Tim. We met in college, both coming from families with a construction background. And like most people, there's a pretty abysmal stigma when it comes to construction. So we wanted to be that next generation of contractor, which hence the name NexGen. And really that was breaking the stigma surrounding construction professionals, empowering our employees, which they're oftentimes forgotten, and then also having a community impact. So that was kind of the genesis of NexGen and where we are today. That's
probably why you're so successful.
Yeah, I'm a product of hanging around people like you, and
Well, thank you. But in addition to running a great business and giving back to your employees, you also are really involved in the community.
Yes. So growing up, our family always did a bunch of community service throughout college. I was very involved. So that was one of the main things that I wanted to do is, we build a company which would allot us more resources to do things that were impactful in the community. And just this year, we took all of these things that we've done in the past, and I wanted to be more deliberate with our efforts. So we incorporated the NexGen Foundation just to get a little bit more brand awareness and to be able to be a catalyst to even more change than just, being a part of these different charities. So what that is right now, we're not entirely sure. We're focused on 3 initiatives. They're humanitarian, academic, and environmental. And it's all about protecting and promoting, things that will be beneficial to the next generation.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So you're still working on what projects you'll be working on and things like that?
Yeah, I think, I've spoken with a lot of people that are way more involved than me and have had tremendous success in this sector. And they encouraged me to let it happen organically. As we continue to do all of these things, we'll be able to hone in on what, we're most passionate about, be able to get our employees involved, to see what their passions are as well.
Right.
And I'm hoping in the next 12 months we have a more deliberate effort. But right now we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, whether it's donating roofs, volunteer hours for various organizations, or sponsoring events and things like that.
Right. And then I think construction, like you said, sometimes have a stigma. Even explaining to people and letting them see a different side of it might encourage people, because that's something we're always going to need is construction.
Yeah.
And to keep that workforce and keep that pool going. And so you'll have that next, because what happens is almost like IT is for a while we didn't have that pool waiting and workforce, waiting, and then it kind of dried up for a minute, and all these jobs were out there and nobody to fill them.
Yeah. And so that's another thing that we realized early on, which, the trades get a really bad name.
Yes.
And, everybody's pathway is different. So back in 2021, we launched our internship program to take college students or people that are moving into the workforce, and they can learn everything from sales to the administrative side to actually, being a project manager, things like that, because that's important. Not everybody's meant to go on the pathway to college and be a doctor.
Oh, I tell people all the time, and I actually was a professor, dean, interim campus president, so I do understand that. But I've had so many conversations with parents saying, okay, they may not be ready for college yet and
Yeah.
had to have the hard conversations. But I know I would tell everybody, I said, my plumber, and I worked in IT, director of IT, so I had a really good salary. My plumber ate way more than me.
Yeah, and there's so much opportunity. And like you said, construction's not going away until robots can build everything, which, maybe that's not too far off. But I'd like to think that the human experiences in construction is, what really matters. And that's what we try to give our customers, is that human interaction. We build every roof like it's our family's roof. We do interior work as well. So it's all part about, changing and showing people that there are still good contractors out there. And we're not the only one. And there are really good ones. But unfortunately, with news cycles, the bad ones are the ones that always get the most attention.
I always tell people it's either the very good ones or the very bad ones, and bad news spread faster.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So unfortunately, when you have a bad one, it really spreads.
Yeah.
So I want to say congratulations on being one of the Hightower Fellows, right? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
And if you had a message to tell this generation or the upcoming generation, what would it be?
Well, I would say upcoming, there's a local election, and I was told a long time ago that, in local politics, the only thing that should matter is the community and its people. And there's a lot of good candidates out there, whoever you want to vote for. But we had a pretty bad turnout with especially younger folks in the August elections locally. So I would encourage everybody to go out and vote. And, everybody's got their own path and find it and be deliberate.
Right. Just take advantage of having the ability to vote.
Yeah.
Unlike some countries, you can't do that.
Yeah. And it's pretty upsetting. I have a lot of really close friends who are immigrants who have just recently gotten citizenship and things like that. And they're so prideful of their ability to vote. And it's really upsetting, especially when the younger generation we have a great voice. And a lot of the things that they talk about, they may be outspoken about certain things, but unless you're willing to go out there and vote for a candidate that best suits you,
well, that's great advice. So if someone wants to get a hold of you or NexGen, how do they reach out?
So this is the part where I plug my business partner's cell phone.
Okay,
so,
that's okay.
Our website is nexgenfl.com.
Okay.
All of our social media is nexgenrrfl.
Okay.
And you can call our office at 904-802-7150.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Brandon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And to reach out to Brandon or NexGen, please go to nexgenfl.com, and we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.